Hi, thank you for watching Digging to China. I'm Dong Shang. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I don't know about you, but I very much like the movie Top Gun by Tom Cruise. This is a 1986 American action drama. Upon its release, Top Gun received mixed reviews from film critics. But 4 weeks after release, the number of theaters showing it increased by 45%. Despite its initial mixed critical reaction, the film was a huge commercial hit, grossing $356 million against a production budget of $15 million. In Hollywood, a sequel to Top Gun is a sure bet for success. In 2019, Chinese tech firm Tencent Holdings signed on to co-finance the film. Tencent hoped it would yield a windfall at the box office. Yet, when Top Gun Maverick hit theaters last weekend, it did so without any financing from Tencent and without any mention of Tencent, which had once boasted of its involvement in the film. Why is that? Because Top Gun Maverick is a movie celebrating American military might and released on Memorial Day weekend. Tencent executives grew concerned that the Communist Party officials would be angry about it. As relations between the US and China deteriorating, association with a pro-American story would be radioactive for Tencent back in China. So in a matter of 3 years, Tencent rushed from financing opportunities in Hollywood to steering clear. At the same time, Western businesses have shifted their perception of China from a growth market with 1.4 billion consumers to a thicket of uncertainty. Before dropping out, Tencent had put up millions of dollars for a 12.5% stake in the film. In order to appease Beijing, at a July 2019 ceremony announcing its co-financing of Top Gun Maverick, Tencent also trumpeted a coming lineup of propagandist Chinese films extolling the history and heroism of the Chinese Communist Party. But in late 2019, as President Xi Jinping tightening his grip on China's businesses and required companies operating in China to pledge loyalty to the Communist Party, Tencent quietly backed away from the film. In recent years, the distribution plans for several Hollywood movies were disrupted, including Disney's live-action remake of Mulan. The movie drew criticism for filming in Xinjiang province, where officials have been accused of committing human rights abuses. But it is rare for a financial backer to pull out of a movie entirely like Tencent did. It is not surprised that Top Gun Maverick hasn't been approved for release in China. Paramount executives initially thought that the movie would have a shot at getting approved by Chinese censors and playing in theaters there. They expected around $80 million gross in China. Tencent's involvement was supposed to help Paramount with local marketing efforts that have boosted Chinese returns in the past. Now that executives at Paramount don't expect a Chinese release, they are hoping that higher than expected US ticket sales make up the difference. They hope the debut lures older moviegoers who have been reluctant to return to auditoriums as the COVID-19 pandemic has dragged on. The original Top Gun movie was closely associated with American patriotism. It inspired a surge in military enlistments among young men and women eager to suit up like Tom Cruise, who plays a Navy fighter pilot with a steamy romance. Top Gun Maverick is already receiving the grandest release of the COVID era. When the film screened at the Cannes Film Festivals last month, Mr. Cruise arrived via a helicopter and jet fighters marked the sky above the red carpet with red, white, and blue smoke. The filmmakers tried their best to avoid contemporary politics and any plot that might alienate global moviegoers. Its plot sends Mr. Cruise and his fellow pilots on a combat mission in an unidentified country, where enemy pilots wear helmets that don't display any nationality. However, Paramount executives still found themselves navigating geopolitical tensions. In the summer of 2019, an early trailer for the movie was released. In this trailer, Tom Cruise was wearing his iconic bomber jacket from the original movie. In the 1986 film, the jacket was decorated with a large patch that included Japanese and Taiwanese flags. The patch commemorates a U.S. battleship's tour of Japan, Taiwan, and the Western Pacific in 1963–64. Back then, Tencent was concerned that the Chinese censors would be less likely to approve the movie for release with the flags. Later, the filmmakers made the change. The flag swap generated considerable attention, particularly in conservative media. Conservatives called the edit a capitulation to Chinese interests on a movie that celebrates American patriotism. In the final edit of the film, Mr. Cruise's character can be seen donning the bomber jacket, the original flags intact, but on screen for the briefest of seconds. Still, at the movie premiere in Taiwan, the audiences cheered and clapped at the unexpected sight of their national flag. The Central News Agency of Taiwan reported, some people even flocked to buy copies of the jacket, which is being sold at the price of $1,449. Top Gun Maverick was initially scheduled to premiere in 2019, but it was delayed when production took longer than expected. Then the pandemic shut down theaters worldwide, and the movie was postponed 3 times in 2020 and 2022 before its final shift to last weekend. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button right here. I'll see you again shortly.